bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do. We have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. And then we'll help with... And we haven't had to bring in the...
All right, giving all praises to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushua, B'Hashem HaRachadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders. Very great millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. Trump said earlier in this week that Chicago's up next for the National Guard. They're screaming for us, as he said. And he uses Eve in his talk. Now, as his article reads, he says that it says Trump's comments come at a point where Chicago has seen significant reductions in violent crimes, according to Mayor Brandon Johnson's office. High-profile mass shootings continue to rock the city, but overall crime has declined, including a 30% drop in homicides, the mayor's office said. Deploying the National Guard could potentially undermine the city's progress, Johnson said. Well, as we said, what he did in D.C. was just the start. He wanted to start in his own backyard, and then eventually he's going to spread it to all the states. His goal is that he wants this entire country as a police state. In this video, he actually said that New York would be next after Chicago. And there were a lot of people who live in D.C. making TikToks and videos saying that the quote unquote riots and these thugs, militias that Trump is talking about don't exist. In fact, it's everyday life over there, business as usual. And so they're trying to figure out what's the reason behind everything that Trump is saying, that he's blatantly lying. Exactly, and like we said, he doesn't care if there isn't the crime as it is that he wants it to be. If there isn't these groups, he wants to bring about a police state. So he will do what it takes to bring a police state. So if he has to make up something, he will do it. All he got to do is pull up some statistics, pull up some old videos. He can put a whole bunch of things together if you want, and so that he could justify bringing the National Guard, because when he makes a move like that, he has to justify before the people, right? So he'll just say it's crime-ridden city. You got riots, all these things taking place, so that the people watching say, oh, really? But the people who live there are like, we don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. Well, he's doing the same thing in Chicago. You know, he doesn't have to actually have whatever proof or evidence he needs. He wants, because he's just doing the bidding of the wicked elite, he wants to establish a police state. He wants to establish martial law as a thing. They're trying to establish 15-minute cities. Everything is pushing towards complete control. A lot of people still actually think the president is there to serve the country. No, he's doing the bidding of he's doing the bidding of the wicked elite, which consists of the Israelis. That's all he's doing. And these devils want complete control over the population of the people. So in order to do that, they're going to start with the martial law and National Guard troops. They want these in every city, every state. And he's going to start with the major ones, and then eventually he's going to branch out. So even though they say, well, wait a minute, the numbers show that it's safer than last year, or it's safer than it is no more dangerous than it was before, he doesn't care. Okay, eventually St. Louis is going to be and he's going to say whatever he wants to say about St. Louis. He's going to pull up statistics or whatever, because he wants to bring those martial law troops so that he could be like that dragon over the children of Israel, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. This is what's prophesied in the scriptures. So as the Lord says, the mentality that we are supposed to have is to focus on this truth and to be concerned about the days being shortened, which means that we don't have, as the scripture said, we have no continuing city here, meaning we have nothing to look forward to here because the devil is making moves. As 2 Peter 3:11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Looking for and hasting. So everything we're doing, we're watching. So when Trump makes these moves, according to biblical prophecy, since we understand the breakdown of Revelation 13 completely, Revelation 12, 14, 15, all of these very important ones, is that the scriptures prophesies that this little beast, this beast that came up from the Roman Empire, seeks to establish an image, that image being the Roman system back in effect, complete effect, and today is considered the New World Order, just as it's on the American dollar. The American dollar has the words written in Latin that says, our enterprise is complete, New World Order. They got the pyramid, right? The 13 layers, the bird with the 13, is it harpoons or whatever it is? All these things, them saying that this is the enterprise that they seek to establish, which is complete control. And with that, they want to establish the mark. That mark is going to be the RFID microchip that you will need if you want to buy or sell or to work or to enter a store, or even most likely to even leave your city. You're going to need that. This is what he's trying to establish. This is their goal. And this is them moving towards that goal. And they know that with that goal, they're going to have to put lockdowns and do a lot of slaying and killing. Okay, Donald Trump has brought back or put on the books to bring back the death penalty. All these things to go back to the ancient ways to force compliance while giving you the illusion that this is for the betterment of the country. Now, we know that since we're the believers, we know that everything is happening as according to prophecy. So what did the Lord say about those who choose to ignore this message? You know, the Israelites who choose to overlook everything that's happening and just be more concerned about the here and now and how to build and restore and fix marriages and build schools. This is what he said about them. So 2 Ezra 16:41, this is the New Revised Version. It says, hear my words, O my people, prepare for battle, and in the midst of the calamities, be like strangers on the earth. Let the one who sells be like the one who will flee. Let the one who buys be like the one who will lose. Let the one who will do business be like the one who will not make a profit. And let the one who builds a house be like the one who will not live in it. Let the one who sows be like the one who will not reap. So also the one who prunes the vines, like the one who will not gather the grapes. Those who marry are those who will have no children, and those who do not marry like those who are widowed. Because of this, those who labor in vain. Right, because he says in the evil days, which is the days we're living in, those who are laboring, meaning you have, if we take, let's look at the American people, like the Edomites. This is their last kingdom. This is their last hoorah. They don't have a choice but to believe and to try to fight to keep this thing going. This is the only hope they have. So if they want to build their own city and say, you know, so-called whites only, no so-called Jews or blacks or whatever, that's them they're fighting for their last hoorah. That's all that is. They're supposed to be thinking like that. They're the ones, the people in the world are the ones supposed to be concerned about the mayor and the Democrats and the Republicans and this bill, that bill, they're the ones supposed to be concerned about that because this is their kingdom, this is their world. When Israelites think the same thing and they believe being politically involved with their community and trying to run for mayor to turn things around and to get this bill passed, that bill passed, really it's like mentally you're all into this world and you're also on board with trying to fix it because you want to call America or whatever land you're in your home. Right? The Lord said, they that labor in vain. As he goes on, for strangers shall gather their fruits and plunder their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captive. For in captivity, in famine, they will produce their children. Meaning you won't be able to enjoy what it is you think you're going to enjoy because the Lord is upset at your mindset. So when Israelites want to come to us, talk about some community, what we're trying to explain to them is that fact of the matter is, our people don't realize you don't have the time to do what it is that you think that you're trying to do. You don't have it. Yeah, while you're worried about building a school and trying to build a neighborhood, Esau is already rolling out the troops. So what exactly are you planning on getting accomplished in martial law? You think you're going to be able to build your community in while there's martial law, while there's National Guard patrolling the streets, go into your house, maybe even tell you, look, get off that patio. You've been on your patio. From now on, 6 o'clock, nobody's on the patio. Nobody's able to come outside. You think you're going to be able to do any building and fixing, knowing that these times are coming to pass? So it goes on, the Lord says, those who conduct business do so only to have it plundered. The more they adorn their cities, their houses and possessions, and their persons, the more angry I will be with them for their sin, said the Lord Yahweh. Yes, because you're ignoring him. You're ignoring the message. You're ignoring what Trump is doing. You're ignoring everything that's coming to happen. That's happening. He's using Chicago and he's using these major cities. So DC did his own backyard. Going before Chicago. He said New York is later. He's starting with the major ones, so that then that can be the blueprint for everything else. And he's coming to slay. Who do you think it's for? All this is to target really our people. So the primary areas of interest is going to be where our people dwell. So like the ghettos and the hoods and things of that nature. So this is what he is doing. The Lord is warning you of it, and you're choosing to not pay it any mind because you're more concerned about the here and now. You're more concerned about the flesh. Now, the Lord just told us the mindset that we should have. Hastening and coming the day of our Lord. We go about our business, but we go about it with the expectation that the time is short. That's what he's looking for. He's looking at the mentality of the people, because really he's seeing if do you believe him, or are you calling him a liar? The book of Zephaniah 1, verse 12, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. Which is another way of saying the Lord ain't going to do nothing. Life is just going to continue as it has been. So we are free to do our own devices. It says, therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink of the wine thereof. As he just said again. So the Lord doesn't like that attitude of not hastening coming in the day, of not watching for the prophecies and not getting ready to say the time is almost here. People don't even realize we may not even be on YouTube that much longer. They already went into effect they already went into effect of saying that you can't, that basically if your channel gets, hit by the algorithm, they're going to mess with it. And the only way for you to prove that you are your age, they want an ID. Now we know that now they're doing it under the guise of trying to make sure they're protecting the children, trying to make sure they're protecting the little kids, right? That's what they're saying. But we know that eventually that's just going to be the new standard to run the channel, period. They're going to require an ID. They know this. The guy, the British guy, before he passed in the UK, let me pull it up 1 second. All right, so this is back in 2021. It says UK's Chartered Institute for IT calls for social media to verify users' ID. They say, let's see, and they say, oh, it's to protect people, but they say they basically don't like anonymity. They want to do away with that, and this is why they passed that bill a few weeks ago. So now in the UK, it requires you to have an ID just to run the social media, so that they can control you now, so that they can monitor you. But this is what they said back then, but what are they saying today? Age verification is to protect the kids. No, as they said back then, it's to control the things they say, and everything you say, they want to be able to match it to your ID. This is how they want control. YouTube has adopted that, but they're saying that, oh, this is just our algorithm trying to protect the kids. If you get hit accidentally, you could just prove it. It's no big deal. We're just trying to protect the kids. No. Okay. Eventually it's going to be required just to run a YouTube channel. So pretty much the days of being on YouTube and teaching the word like we think maybe coming to an end real soon. So the point of the matter is the Lord is coming fast. Verse 14, he says, the great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And what's the alarm? The alarm is that troops are coming, danger is coming. Doesn't matter if it's a fenced city or the high towers. The Lord is against it all. It's coming for all. Okay. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord Yahweh's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, where he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So the Lord doesn't like when you choose to ignore his message and his warning and to just put everything on the back burner and say, we got time. The Lord can come anywhere between now and 1,000 years. And technically I'm right. So you guys can't get mad at me for saying that. Oh, we most certainly can, because you're not giving Israel the state that they need to be in. Because the guy is saying, when people ask these questions to the people who believe, you do realize they're asking because subconsciously they can see the end coming, and they're wanting someone else to confirm those thoughts in their mind. So when they ask you, so how much time we got? How much time we got? And you say, oh, we got like 1,000 years, so we ain't got to worry about now. We who knows? And that's just like good. That's what I want to hear. I just want to hear somebody else say it instead of telling them the truth of the matter. So yes, we most certainly can be upset, but you are all free to keep saying the community building, schools, fixing marriages, making programs for children, giving them a pathway, to success, 10, 15 years down the line. And you're free to do all of those things. Just know you're going to be doing it in the midst of martial law and in the midst of lockdowns. Okay? You're gonna be trying to figure out your next your next uh your next big conference that you're gonna orchestrate. You're gonna be figuring it out while you're checking everybody to make sure that they are vaccine compliance, that they are microchipped compliance, because that's what you're gonna need to run your big meeting that you host every year, or whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? That's what the Lord is basically trying to tell you. So it's best to just keep your eye on the prophecy. Know that this devil is coming. He's moving fast. Okay. Don't expect the truth from him. He don't have to tell the truth. He wants to bring those troops, so he's going to do whatever it takes to bring those troops. He don't care about statistics. He don't care about the mayor. He don't care, man. He wants to establish it because he knows it's up, man. He don't want this world to go on as it is, because if it do, he gonna go right into slavery. He wants to fulfill his dream, which is to put Israel back in slavery. Psalms 37:12. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnashing upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and the needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Who is that? The believers. So while you guys are decking your cities and decking your houses, planning your fields, planning the next 5, 10 years down the line, this man is plotting to come after you. And you're not listening to the word of the Lord, because it doesn't align with your goals and your agenda. Hebrews 4, Hebrews 4. Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. Who is he talking about? The all Israel, you could say. In particular, he's talking about the ones in the wilderness. The same gospel was preached to the elect as it is to them, but it didn't profit them because they weren't mixed with faith. It's not beneficial to hear that your priority should just be focusing on the scriptures, building up your faith to stand in the evil day. If your goal is to be a king over Israel, to be a name, to have notoriety, to be respected, to do music videos, to build a community, right? To be a husband, you know what I'm saying? To be noted while you're doing none of that, to be told to focus on the prophecy, pray that the days are short, speed things up. That's not going to profit you. This is why we say, if you are community, Israelites are not prophets. There's a conflict of interest. One, you got community Israelites, and then you got prophets. One wants to stay, the other wants to go. But while you all doing that, I hope you prepare. The Lord said you better be prepared. Okay, you saying in your heart the Lord will neither do good or evil, meaning we just gonna be doing whatever we're doing. Nothing's gonna happen. The Lord can come. Meaning we don't know how long we're gonna be here. It could be another 15, 20 years. Blase. Yep. So just know while you're doing that, make sure you planting your fruits in your vineyards, all those things, while under martial law. Revelation 12:17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which kept the commandments of Yahweh, and have a testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So the wicked plotteth against the just, because the days are short. He sharpened his bow against them that are upright in conversation. He wants to make war with the believers. This is the Lord letting us know. He's giving us the warning. So this is how we can know why he's bringing the troops, why he's doing these things. It's prophesied. The Lord's giving us the scoop so that we could build our faith and move accordingly. Okay? Whatever it is you're doing or planning, you better be prepared to let it go. You better be prepared to drop it. You build in the house, you better be prepared to watch it go in flames. You better be prepared to drop that. You know, the problem that got a lot of people during the pandemic was simply because they say, I worked hard to get here and I'm not about to lose my job or whatever it is. I'm not about to lose it over this. I'll just do this. It is what it is. And that's the snare, because you're not willing to let go. You're gonna tell yourself, I worked hard to get here. I deserve to enjoy it. I'm not about to let this stop me. I done got so far, and that's the snare that's gonna come. Okay, the devil is gonna dangle everything you worked for, your future, your retirement. Look, Trump passed the bill to tell the financial institutes like the 401k and all those people who work retirement to revise the regulations to include what I say, cryptocurrency. What does that mean? That means eventually they're going to change the rules for you to maintain getting your 401k or your retirement or your pension. They're going to change the rules to say what you're going to have this microchip. He's coming for the nest egg. He's coming for it all. And if you are not willing to sacrifice and to let go, and you want to hold on, the very things you're going to hold on, you're going to end up losing, just like your life. Okay? Striving so hard to save your life, you will lose it, because you can't part ways with your possessions, your dreams. It don't matter if you can work your whole life to finally get to a position to get this job to run your business, and then here comes the microchip, and now you gonna have to make the decision. And many people are gonna say, I'm gonna take that shit. I'm not about to, I worked so hard to get, the Lord would understand. And then now you're gonna be destroyed, because everything you worked so hard to hold on to, you're about to lose because you're not willing to let it go. And that's because you're not listening to what the Lord is telling you. Book of Matthew, chapter 10, 39. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. So with that, shalom.